So I'm sure by now you guys have all seen this show on Netflix called Supercell. It's basically this black superhero movie with black people in London, South London specifically, who all have superpowers. Now, it's not every black person, but it's specific black people who, suffer from sickle cells, having a sickle cell trait. So it has a little interesting twist to it, but anyways, I found it kind of interesting because first of all, it was like, oh, this is taking place in London. And I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And then like, it's a big chunk of, black people in London. And I was like, are there really that many people in London? Like, are there really that many black people in South London? So I had to like look it up, obviously. And come to think of it, it's 32% of South London are African Americans. That's a pretty decent chunk. Now, I found that interesting because in this show, there's a lot of black people. And I know it's like 30 something percent, but like when I tell you that there's a lot of black people in this, like there's a lot of black people in this show. And it's like they gathered every single black person in South London and was like, do you want to be in this show? And they were like, heck yeah. I love superheroes. They're like one of my favorite things, superhero shows, superhero movies. I love that kind of stuff. I eat that up. So every time I see that there's a new show out, I'm going to watch it. Then it's like a whole cast of black people. Now, I'll be honest with you. Clearly, as you can tell, I am black. But when it comes to movies with, black leads or like an all black cast, I start to question it. Not because, it's all black people, but it's like, okay, is it all black people because, there's a reason? Or is it just like, hey, I want to make a movie or I want to make a show because, it's black people. And that's very important because it makes, when it comes to, storytelling, it has to make sense. And in this case, I don't really think it really makes that much sense. I think it's cool that they explain why it was only black people in this show that had the superpowers, and it's because of the sickle cell trait. So I like, okay, they at least tied that together. But it still didn't feel believable, And why these people specifically, they still don't really explain that, but it's whatever. Because the other people in the show, they're not connected in any other way besides them having a sickle cell trait. So that's that. As far as the writing goes in this show, I don't know if it's the writing or if it's just the acting or maybe it's all of it, because some of the dialogue is kind of bad and then some of the acting is really bad, and it's just like a lot of things felt forced, and then they just weren't selling me. And I can't fully blame the actors that much because they were pretty good with what they were given, but the script wasn't good. That's the thing. Like, the script isn't good. And I know people are going to come to the comments and they're going to, try to defend it, saying, oh, like, this is like the best superhero show ever. Or like, oh, this show is like #1 on trending. And it's like, I don't think you guys understand how like marketing works, because every single movie that comes out, every single show that comes out on Netflix is going to be like, oh, this isn't like the top 10 shows of, Netflix. And it's like, yeah, how else are they going to get people to watch it? If I'm not mistaken, at the recording of this video, this show is currently at a 6.8. Okay, that's above average, so that's pretty good. Now, I don't normally like to do things based off of ratings because, ratings are skewed, And, opinions, when it comes to reviews and stuff, that's also very skewed because it's opinionated. So not everyone's going to think the same thing, and yeah. That's the other thing too. When I start to see movies trending a lot on Facebook or like other social medias or like, shows and stuff, I start to question that as well, because like, okay, these aren't like, regular movie watchers or like movie critics or show critics. These are just like regular people who are looking for something to watch. They're going to find everything interesting. And it's been proven time and time again that, yeah, that's facts. So when I saw that this was trending, I already knew that the show was going to be like mid at best. Again, I'm not saying that this show is entirely too bad, but it's not great either. This show has that cliche thing of, oh, one person has superpowers. He's able to, travel through time. He sees the future. Oh, he's going to try to change it. He can't change it. Wow, big surprise. It's nothing new. The only difference is it's an all-black cast. And when I say all-black cast, what I mean is like it's an all-black like main cast. Obviously, there's like other people in the show, but it's a main black cast. As far as the powers go, it's kind of cheesy. It's like, you know, like any of the CW shows, it kind of feels like that. They didn't really work too much on it, and it really starts to show. I'm an editor, so just gonna throw that out there. I know how certain things are supposed to look, and they were very lazy with these effects, especially for the stunts too. I mean, I guess I can't like knock off too many points when it comes to stunts because, I mean, they're trying their best, but like the stunts felt very cheesy. They didn't feel believable. It was a lot of weird things. Wow, the more I like talk, the more I realize there's a bunch of negatives in this than positives. I'm trying to think of some positives about this show. One thing that really bothers me about the show is that, you know, all of these guys are struggling with something. They're always going through something. And it's like, these guys can't win for anything. So as soon as something really good starts to happen, something really bad starts to follow it. And then it's just like, dang, like, I'm trying to root for you, man. Like, I really am trying to root for you. But it always ends up bad. And it doesn't help that it's only 6 episodes. So you can't really care that much for these characters. It's only 6 episodes. They're about an hour long. So another thing is just like, a lot of these things are very predictable. And I mean, that could just be me because I know what I'm looking for when it comes to stories and stuff. But everything that happened, I was like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. So I don't know, like, they just have to try something different. I guess I'm being really hard on this because I do want, you know, our people to strive. I want our people to do really good, especially in this industry. But I don't know, like, it has to be something different. It has to be something different. Like, I feel like superheroes at this point, they're overplayed. What's that one show with the black kid? Michael B. Jordan was like producing it. Raising Dion. That show, that's another thing. But that, I feel like that's issues is because it's a kid actor and the kid's really not that good. So that's like another thing. It feels like I'm watching that all over again, and that was not a good show. Another thing is that like this show, the people keep doing dumb things in this show, and it's like, why? You know, like it's just really dumb mistakes, and it ends up turning into like really big consequences. So I don't know, I just can't root for anybody in this. I really can't. On the bright side, it is a quick watch. I do believe a lot of people are going to really enjoy this show simply because, again, you know, it's a superhero show and it has a full black cast. Like, it's a pretty stacked black cast. There's also a lot of like jargon that I don't understand. Like, thank God for subtitles. But there's a lot of things that they're saying that people who aren't from South London or just like London in general aren't really going to understand. But the more and more the show goes on, it's like, okay, I'm kind of like understanding what's going on. And that's not like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing because, you know, it's the same thing with like any other place. Like if you watch any kind of like K-dramas or stuff, there's going to be things that we're not going to know. So it's not a bad thing. It's just that it didn't really hit for me. I'm sure that a lot of people in London are going to love this show though. Like I can already tell based off of the reviews and everything from other people. Yeah, they're loving this. And that's awesome. You know, I'm happy for you guys. It's just like, it's not my cup of tea. I mean, someone's got to love it. And the ending of this season felt very rushed. I mean, like, it wasn't rewarding at the end. It's only 6 episodes, and I feel like nothing really got answered. So they're holding on to getting a second season, and I hope it gets another season so that way people who are into the show, they get a conclusion to it. Because if not, they're just leaving you guys dry. Mainly because there's a lot of things that have to be answered. But I'm sure you guys can tell based off of watching the show, you know, how it ended that last episode. You already know how the whole like series is going to go from there. Something's going to happen. The guy's going to end up going back in time and he's going to be able to fix everything. Everything's going to be all happy. You know, that's how it's going to go. I'm calling it right now. So when it happens, you can come back to this video and you can comment, Sonway, you're right. Well guys, what did you think about Supacell? Did you like it? Did you not like it? You know, let me know down in the comment section down below and let's talk about it. Also, if you haven't already, which I don't know why, but if you haven't, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button to the channel, and also hit the notification bell so you can be notified each time I upload a new video, and I will see you guys in the next one.